In this video, I'm going to be to play, I would assume, but credit to them, they got the record. Up next here, we have Verrucht, also on World at War, obviously. Again, though, in between El Kimonito and Resile, in exactly the same round, which is round 57. These guys just have a knack of doing these things, apparently. Credit to them, I wouldn't be able to do this myself, but strategy here, again, the flamethrower training, and you got El Kimonito over there on the barrier. It seems like a pretty simple strategy. You gotta have the dedication of these two, apparently. For our third record here, it's actually a 3-player game on Shino Numa, done by Sir Modzalot, Mystic, and Palmer. It looks like they're all just training all together. I don't know exactly if this is their exact strategy, but getting round 100 on the dot, that is the world record, which is very different, very contrary to the solo world record, which is up in the 11,000s. But look at, as you can see on the top left, this game was over 40 hours long, and as you guys know, you cannot pause in co-op. So the fact that they played 40 straight hours nonstop is ridiculous. I mean, that's why they get the record. Good for them. For our fourth record here, as you can see, it's on Dury's World at War between two players by the name of the 153 and again Mystic, who apparently just has 40 hours to spare on a random weekend. Yeah, they ended up getting to 139, and if you actually look at the end of the game, if you go actually click this footage, again, link in the description below, you can see that one of them got 17,000 kills, the other got 500 kills. So it's pretty much just like keep the president alive, and that's how you play your game on co-op, at least in World at War. But yeah, 139, by far the highest record in World at War, co-op version anyway. For our next record, we have 172 on Kino der Toten Black Ops 1 between Furret and Sluya. I just want to mention, by the way, I am not really in tune with the high round community at all. If there's people that are like big in this community that I'm supposed to know, just know I don't know them. The only person I know is like Krups. So just to get that out there. So yeah, I could be butchering names, but anyways, they got to round 172, and this is the first co-op game that I've seen so far where the kills are pretty even. So they're both putting in the work. As you can see here, they're on insta-kill rounds, but this game was over 70 hours long, and again, you cannot pause in co-op. So my assumption would be pretty safe to say that they used a rubber band or something to hold X on a window. That's my best guess, obviously. But yeah, again, highly impressive record. For our next record, we have round 142 on the map 5 between Germain and Tamika. Unfortunately, the original footage on ZWR is no longer available, so I am using the footage from the second place on the list, which was around 134, I believe. The link will be in the description, and the credit to this video will obviously go to them. But just know the record is actually Germain and Tamika, round 142, which on a map like 5, pretty much unfathomable. The amount of skill you have to have is ridiculous. Here in Ascension, the record is round 174 between Furret and Capino. Unfortunately, yet again for the second straight map, the footage is no longer existent, or is that even a word? The video is private, that's all I can say. Can't get it, so I am showcasing the second place footage. Again, link in the description below. On Ascension, however, round 174 for any map in co-op is highly impressive, but on Ascension, it can be a little easier just because of how much space there is on this map. Using the rubber band trick at night, I mean, it's possible. On Call of the Dead, the record is 128 between Zomba and Eggman 115. For the third straight time, the video is not available on ZWR. I don't know what's up with that, but it is what it is. So again, showcasing the second place footage, link in the description. But on a map like Call of the Dead, it's actually one of the very rare instances where on co-op, the record is higher than it is on solo. Obviously, we know that is because of the VR11's ability on co-op to give the other player insta-kills, while on solo, it's virtually useless. Only just recently did solo get a record over 100 on Call of the Dead, but here on co-op, the record is actually 128, so a lot higher than solo, which is very rare. It actually might be the only map where it's like that. I'll try to see later in this video if I can find out about that. On Shangri-La, arguably one of the hardest maps in Call of Duty history, the record is 123 between Dro and Adopted. A crazy record, as you can see there on the timer, over 48 hours of footage, only on round 114, so who knows, it's probably 50 plus hours. Again, like I said, one of the most difficult maps in the history of Call of Duty. I'm assuming, as you can see, they're just abusing the monkeys drop cycle. It's obviously one of the only things that are really going for them. Baby gun spam with the Semtex, along with the monkeys giving max ammos. Then you have a recipe if you have 50 hours over the weekend to spare to go get a world record. On Moon, the record is between Puerto Rico and Crave, and the record is 156. As you can see here, they are training in the starting room using Gershes, the wave gun, and whatever resources they have to go, again, 50 plus hours in getting the co-op world record. Obviously, you do have the Gersh devices to get drops when you're out of ammo. As you can see here, he only has 4 bullets in a clip, and they were using Gersh devices. And then, of course, you can use the hacker to hack any drops that come to give you a max ammo. So again, you got 50 hours to spare on the weekend. Go ahead and try it yourself. In what my opinion is the hardest map that you can do co-op, at least in a casual's eyes. Like I said, I'm not a high rounder, but in a casual's eyes, this is my opinion. You have round 118 between Joker and Oxygen. This is ridiculous. There's no pack-a-punch. You don't get any extra ammo for packing. He has the base Thunder Gun here, and he is just letting Oxygen train the zombies while he, Joker, takes out his train with the Thunder Gun. And obviously you just have to trade the Thunder Gun over and over and get lucky from the mystery box. This record is absolutely ridiculous. Sorry for the lower quality on some of these. It's just kind of how the videos come. It is what it is. But for Verrucht, the record is 117 between Nestor 53 and Mist Rawl. Unfortunately, their footage is unavailable, so again, I am using the second place footage here. But on a map like Verrucht, at least you have all the perks, unlike Noct, but this is still just insane. I don't understand how people do it. Here on Black Ops 1, you have Ricky Matthew and W for Dub going for around 134, which actually beats second place by exactly 1 round. As you can see here, they are on round 134, just 1 round after beating the record. And they don't actually decide to keep going. Once they break the record, they are satisfied, which I would be too after such a long game. Congratulations to them. This record is obviously insane. Look at the downs, 37 and 24. Great teammates. On Black Ops 1 to reach, the record is 176, done by Sluya and Furret yet again. These guys are legends apparently in the community. I'm gonna have to start learning these people's names because my god, this skill is just overwhelms me. I am nowhere near this. But yeah, the record is 176 here on a 2-player Derice. Still, we only have 1 3-player record, which is interesting. I wonder if we'll get another one this whole video. Here on Transit, the record is round 111, done by Destroyer and No Mole Man. Now, why would somebody subject themselves to 30 straight hours of Transit gameplay? I'm not too sure, but these people did it, and all the credit to them because they actually ended up beating the previous world record by literally 1 round. Ladies and gentlemen, I did earlier in the video say that I would check if Call of the Dead was the only map where co-op round was the higher round than the solo world record. And it turns out that that is not true because Bus Depot actually has a higher world record on co-op than it does on solo. Done by TZT Flames and Cookazor, they actually ended up getting to round 92, which is 1 round higher than the solo world record of 91. On Town, the world record is 97, done by Legrand and Blasters. As you can see here on their footage, they got over 100 hours of gameplay. Chat is going crazy for them. On Farm, the world record is held by Blasters and Notway Q, getting all the way up to round 95 and over 117 hours of gameplay. There is no way in hell I could subject myself to this much total time on Farm in my entire Zombies career, let alone 1 game. Again, we have another round 95 world record, this one on Nuketown, done by Chris Voltage and Slayer TV. As you can see, one of them is training here in the backyard as the other one is on the other side of the backyard. I don't know if this is their strategy the entire game, but as you can see here, they crash or disconnect from the server, thus ending their world record run. Here on Die Rise, we have a record of 120 by Issue and No Mole Man. By the way, I've seen No Mole Man already on this list, so I just gotta say, the fact that some people have multiple records is actually ridiculous, and mad respect to you because I just don't know how you do it. You can just perfect a map so well with another player, and you could do it multiple times. It's crazy. On Mob of the Dead, the record is round 159, done by Qzia and Astro X. On round 159, they do end up crashing or disconnecting from the server or whatever it is that Call of Duty wants to say. Here it is, reset in 99 hours of gameplay. Congratulations to them. This record is ridiculous. Another record held by Blasters and Notway Q, apparently the most impressive duo in Zombies history. They get to round 210 on the map Buried. Insane setup here. I mean, look at the top left. They've got everything calculated, every statistic you need. I mean, this is ridiculous. I can never reach this level. On Origins, the record is round 131, again done by No Mole Man, and this time his partner was Destroyer. And I can't say I'm very jealous of this guy because he does have multiple world records, but you know how long this takes. I'm sorry, there is no way I could ever do this. There's no way. No, but in all seriousness, congratulations, dude. No Mole Man, you're literally a legend. You're by far the GOAT on this list so far. I can't even lie. Heading over to Black Ops 3 on the very first map, Shadows of Evil, the record is 171 in the 2-player game done by Faded Z and Lost Feeling. Unfortunately, I looked at the footage, and here's the second place footage. Spoiler alert, this is second place footage. But when I was looking at the first footage for the actual record, it was just like half the stream was Geometry Jazz. and the other half was like Shangri-La. So I don't know where that footage is, but that's the record officially in ZWR 171. So I don't know. On the Giant, the record is 175, done by David Zed and Jordy Pie. I just want to let it be known that all these records on BO3 are going to be done with classic Gobblegums, just because that's the most fair for the list. I don't know, but yeah, 175 is the record on the Giant. Here on Derisenjock, the record is 195, extremely insane. It's done by Extreme, no pun intended, and Square. Again, as a reminder, only classic Gobblegums, which is why you only see 4 perks here. No OP shit. We ain't with none of that. No OP shit. The record here on Zetsubo no Shima, which, yes, happens to be my least favorite zombies map of all time, don't hate me in the comments, is done by KXG and Notex, and it's 194. These records just keep getting more insane and more insane. I just realized the footage I showed was them was literally AFK. So here's the actual footage. I wouldn't know anything about this, but, you know, here it is. Apologies for the lower quality on this video. This is just as good as it's going to get. I'm sorry. But this record on Grod Kirby is 131, done by Jumpy and Square. Looks like their record is mostly set here in the bunker. One of them has 40,000 kills. One of them has 10,000 kills. You know, that's decently even, I guess. It's not, I mean, it's not even close, but at least both have over 10,000 kills. I actually want to say this is an underrated record because the bunker is almost impossible to do on a high round for a casual player on solo. Imagine what it's like on 2-player. This is utterly insane. The next record here is done again by Notex and KXG, and they actually got all the way to round 246, which is by far the highest co-op round in Black Ops 3. I get it, Revelations is supposedly the easiest map, but you know what? Either way, it's insane. That's ridiculous. Here on Nocturne and Toten on Black Ops 3, the highest round in the history of zombies in co-op is only 104, which now that I say that out loud sounds so ignorant, saying only 104, but compared to all the other BO3 co-op records, this one is by far the lowest. This one is done by Just Tactical and Capo. Here on the remastered version of Verrucht on Black Ops 3, the record is done by, yet again, Jumpy and Square, and they get all the way up to round 125, which is insanely impressive for a map like Verrucht, which is so close quarters. As you can see here, this is how they down. Here on Shinonuma, the record is by NCG The Best and T Gunny, and it's all the way up to round 165. I don't know if you guys caught that right there, but the trap on Shinonuma gets glitched out if you get to a high enough round. You literally just can't see the electric part of the trap, so it's literally invisible. Just a little quirk right there, which is super interesting. But that should just let you know how insane this record is, because that's how long it takes. This is over a 60-hour game. I mean, I can't fathom doing this on co-op. I know I'm saying it over and over, but my God. Like, you guys are insane. Whoever does this, you're crazy. You deserve a raise. Whatever you're making, you deserve a raise. Here on the Black Ops 3 version of Keanu der Toten, the record is yet again set by Jumpy and Square all the way up to round 183. Unfortunately, their footage was unavailable, so I am using the second place footage here in place of that. I don't know what Jumpy and Square did to get the world record, but as you can see here, the second place footage does show both parties training in the alley. So you do have to be pretty precise here, especially with the quick and swift movements of the Black Ops 3 zombies and how quickly you can get hit and down. Here on Black Ops 3 Ascension, the record is set at 188 by Drazzer and QZia, who has appeared on this list multiple times now. As you can see here, their death was on 188 after he butchers the quick revive right there. Unfortunate down, but it is what it is. 188, they still got the world record. The record here on the Black Ops 3 version of Shangri-La is set at 124, done by Ganon, Snipes, and Faded Z. As you can see, the game spanned over 12 hours, and they got all the way up to 124 just sitting here in the room next to the cave. Similar to the solo strategy, this is where you want to be, so this record's ridiculous. Hey, does somebody want to hop on with me this weekend and get this done? Let's break this record, baby. Come on, somebody in the comments, let's go. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty positive, earlier in this video, I did say that the highest round was 246 in co-op on Black Ops 3. Apparently I lied, because someone hit the max round of 255. As a matter of fact, it was Ganon, Snipes, and Faded Z yet again. My God, you guys are ridiculous. To hit the max round on co-op is insane. I can't say I'm like too surprised though, because this is Moon, and on Black Ops 3, the spawns are ridiculous on Moon. As you can see, they're only coming out of this one window right here, so if you just use the wave gun with alchemical, you're pretty set, although it still took over 60 hours. The record here on Black Ops 3 Origins is all the way up at 164, done by DeSantis and Badass Monkey. You are badass, because 164 in Origins is insane. Over 48 hours of gameplay. Finally, beginning on Black Ops 4, the record is set on Voyage of Despair at 160 by Curante and Samoso Figo. I hope I'm saying that right. So congratulations to them, because there is no way in hell I can play BO4 for over a couple hours, and these dudes did it for like over 50 hours or whatever it was. Here on the map 9, Chief Lunger and Endless Madness ended up getting to around 151, and speaking of Endless Madness, that's all I can see on the screen, because how the hell can you even contemplate or comprehend what is happening right now? I don't get it, but congratulations on the record. You guys are ridiculously talented. Here on Blood of the Dead, the record is set by Venom Z and CJ, and as you can see, they're over 19 hours of gameplay. The record is all 160, and I can't even say that I have over 19 hours of gameplay total on this map, and these dudes did it in one go and set the freaking world record. Here on Classified, it's pretty interesting. We actually have a joint world record, one set by the 2 players and one set by the 3 players. Both of them got to 127. So as far as gameplay goes, I decided to show the 3-player one just because we've only had one other record like that this video. The record was set by T Senior, Mary Lump, and Agent. Just as a side note, T Senior was also a part of the world record on 2 players, so you are a legend, bro. Round 273 here on Dead of the Night, which was done by Bomber and Kappa Mike, and yes, you see your screen correctly, he literally did it while dressed up as freaking Spider-Man. We have another joint duo here as Endless Madness and Chief Lunger got to round 249 on Ancient Evil, and it looks like they did it literally just meleeing. What a map, what a game. We have a bit of a funny one here. This one is a 2-player record all the way around 142 on Alpha Omega, set by Basket Shots, and I'm not sure because this is done on split screen, and on ZWR it just says player 2, and if you hover over it, it says bot. Clearly it's not a bot. They're on split screen and he's AFK. My theory is this dude just played a game with 2 controllers. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody correct me if anybody knows what the hell this is or who did this. Someone explain. I would love to know. Apparently we're going back to back because yet again Basket Shots and something called Player 2, unknown entity, apparently untagged or tote and got all the way to round 226. Again, my theory is this dude is just playing one game with 2 controllers. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's the most impressive thing I've ever seen, then, if that's the case. Someone let me know. Again, I really want to know. I'm actually genuinely interested. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where the rounds start getting pretty ridiculous. If you know a damn thing about Cold War, you would know this to be true. The world record for co-op on D-Machine is round 547, done by that guy and Drain BB. Yeah, the records only get crazier from here, so yeah, get ready. Here we have a world record, again on split screen, round 273 on Firebase Z. It's done by Trick Z and something named Casper. So I think my suspicions are true. This dude, I think these people just on these newer games that are a little easier, just play one game with 2 controllers. Absolutely legendary stuff. Like I said, the records get more ridiculous from here. So as you can see, we got the max round of 935 done by, again, that guy and Drain BB. This is the most impressive record on Cold War. They got all the way to the max 935 together. The world record on Forsaken is round 308, done by a couple of names that I actually like. Beta Pack a Punch and Beta Pack a Lunch. I respect your names, therefore this is my favorite world record on Call of the Dead. What am I talking about? On Cold War. Here in our newest game, Black Ops 6, the record is round 211, done by Maverick and Chihiro 516. Can't say I know too much about Black Ops 6, but what I do know is that for this game, gobblegums are not allowed as far as the world records go here. By the way, just to know how dead this game is, on ZWR there's only like 4 or 5 people that even submitted a 2-player world record entry, so I mean, that just speaks for itself. The record here on Liberty Falls is done by Dapper and Vertimo, and they get all the way up to round 276. And by the way, the stream that I am currently showing you guys right now was a 24-hour straight stream, so that just lets you know the dedication that these dudes had. Another record here by Vertimo as he pairs up with She Hates Yahiko. Hope I said that right. As he gets a world record here, round 211 on Citadel de Mor, which is, fun fact, my favorite map on Black Ops 6. Not that it's great, but you know, just thought I'd throw that in there, why not? The record here on the Tomb is round 436, again done by that guy. This time he pairs up with Gardening Tools. Absolutely insane record. As you can see, he's using the OP Mangler score streak thing, whatever that is. Somebody enlighten me. I haven't played Black Ops 6 Zombies in like 5 months. Round 151 is the world record for Shattered Veil, set by Grego and Pantsy. I'm not gonna lie, I was looking through ZWR. I didn't even know this map existed. Congratulations on the record though. Definitely not taking anything away. There's no way I could do this. But yeah, that'll do it for the video. That is the co-op world record for every single map in COD Zombies history, Treyarch anyway. Let me know if you guys enjoyed that video down below in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe if you are new. I'm out. Thank y'all for watching. And again, for all the people that did set those world records, you guys are legends. I could never do that. You're insane. You're ridiculous. You're awesome. All of you. Thank you for this video idea.